Oh, all righty. You are looking live. It's all I see. Where today is 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants will be taking on the 0-16 Washington Commanders. And why are the Washington Commanders 0-16? Because they suck. It never fails to crack me up. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw it in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. But plus also, instead of me just rambling for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below. The top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first membership level I got is called the Saquon. Second one I got is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. And I thank you so much in advance. Thank you. Then also, additionally, there's two more links, shall I say, in the description box below. The top one takes you to my Facebook group, which I'll go over in a minute, and the second one takes you to my Twitter account. Sorry, I was just answering something on Messenger here. To me, it's Twitter. It has been Twitter. It's Twitter today. It'll be Twitter tomorrow. It'll be Twitter for all time to come. Whatever Elon Musk wants to call it, whatever letter of the alphabet he wants to call it, that's on him. To me, it's Twitter. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, I try to put stuff in there every day. If you follow me, I will follow you back. That's an absolute promise. Then also, additionally, there's another link above the Twitter one. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's a group. Basically I put stuff in there every day, darn near almost 365. If I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, there's stuff going in there every day. And we have over 6,800 members in the group. It's doing really, really well. And not only do I post stuff in here, but the members post stuff in here as well. So between me and the members every day, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in that group every day. So join it. You won't be disappointed. All right. Well, all that stuff said and done and out of the way with. Well. How would Queen's song go, right? Right? Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. Another one gone and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey. We're going to get you too, right? Another one bites the dust. Shane Lemieux. Oh, yeah. His final snap as a New York Football Giant. We have just seen it. It occurred today. I'm not exactly sure what time in the afternoon or late morning it was, but October 19th, 2023, Shane Lemieux, boom, booyah. Final day as a New York Football Giant. Absolute. I mean, great. See, I've never talked to the guy. I'll never talk to the guy. You know what I mean? But he just seems like a, nice guy, like personality, probably, good in the locker room. I think he got into a brawl one time. Was it last season? Might have been last season with Sexy Dexy and Leo Lyon and all that. And everything. But, so sounds like a good guy for the team and this, that, and blah, 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 all that stuff and everything. But boom, he's out of here. Absolute. I just can't. I can't. So I can't even talk sometimes. It's just absolutely amazing. let me just. All right. And once again, please forgive me. Sometimes I'm such a moron. When I got 3,000 tabs open up here on my computer. Here we go. Was it 35, 36? 35, 36? 35, 36. That's the only way I can remember. It's two consecutive numbers. 35, 36 for Shane Lemieux. 3,536 snaps in the in his college career. 35, 36. 3,536 snaps he took in college. 35, 36. Somehow college, 35, 36, over 3,500 snaps he was able to take in college without even an ingrown toenail. Absolutely none. Gets to the pros, he can't even, he injures, somehow he manages to injure himself in practice. 3 years in a row. I mean, absolutely unfreaking believable. Basically, injures him, and he came, and the season's over. Absolutely amazing. I have no idea how some of these guys, I have no idea how they can walk and chew gum at the same time without like snapping an ACL or something. It's absolutely amazing. Unbelievable. I mean, his first year with the he played 504 snaps. Yeah, that was just by PFF. But if PFF grades you as a 32.2, chances are you weren't too good, right? So he graded out a 32.2 his first season in 504 snaps. So somehow, I mean, I don't know how he actually made 504 snaps, but of course, in the next 3 seasons combined, he played 147 snaps. It's absolutely amazing how this guy can't even get out of a training camp or practice without injuring himself for the rest of the season. Simply amazing. 2021, he played in 17 snaps. He had the partially torn patellar tendon. He injured, of course, he did that in training camp. Basically, I think it was like, I if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like one of the first days of training camp. He like injured himself, and he like didn't practice like the whole rest of training camp or whatever it was. And Joe just says, of course, he's trying to, he's biting, he's trying to get in this, that, and the other. So they put him in the first game of the season against the first quarter against the Denver Broncos, played 17 snaps, boom, season was over. I guess he couldn't go on. I guess the pain was too much, or he just wasn't, he didn't grade out too bad. Somehow, I mean, this is his best grade ever, period, for a season, was when he partially tore his patellar tendon, and he played 17 snaps against the Denver Broncos in week 1, when, of course, shocking, of course, we lost. But he graded out as 69 somehow. He played 17 snaps, first quarter. He played the first quarter against the Denver Broncos, week 1. Of course, once again, we lost. Shocker. Somehow his pass block grade was an 80. And he took 12 pass blocking snaps. 12. He graded out 81.5. I don't know how that possibly happened. And he took 5 run blocking snaps. He graded out a 63. But in those 17 snaps, he graded out a 69 overall, which was by far, actually, it was by far. And how far the best was it? Right? It was more than double the best of any of his other seasons. More than double. I mean, oh my goodness. I said his first year was a 32.2. Second season, last season, when he hurt his toe, I think it was his toe or his foot or whatever it was. I believe he did that once again in practice or training camp, whatever it was. Played 39 snaps last season. Boom, out for the season. Simply amazing. He graded out a 29.4. 29.4. His pass blocking grade last season. How many snaps did he have? Pass blocking. 24 pass blocking snaps. Graded out a 0. A 0. This season, I'm not even sure it must be some miracle of God. Somehow he actually managed to stay on the field for 91 snaps. Somehow. Of course, before he tore his bicep, and boom, he's out. 91 snaps, he graded out of 34.3 this season. 26.1 his pass block rate. 26.1. Absolute. Well, I don't want to say absolute trash because the Giants' offensive, I don't know, whatever. Coaching, this, that, whatever. Trash. What, why we can't develop guys? I mean, it's like some of these other, why we can't, I have no idea. I don't know. Right. So I don't want to say that Shane Lemieux is trash. I certainly don't want to say, because if you went to the Eagles have a phenomenal, I can't remember. I'm such a moron, right? Can't remember the guy's name. Phenomenal offensive line coach. One more time for the hearing impaired. The freaking guy is phenomenal. He's pretty good. If he went there, I bet you Shane Lemieux would be a very serviceable offensive lineman. Come to the Giants, trash, absolute trash. So, I mean, there's no ties between Shane Lemieux and Shane and Dable, and you can kiss him goodbye. Just here's there you go, buddy. Here's the rest of here's your check, whatever. Have a go and don't let the door hit you in the butt. I have no idea. I mean, this is fourth season. I mean, we've got like absolutely his 5th round pick, I believe it was. Absolutely, pretty much absolutely nothing from the guy in 4 years. Absolutely, just unbelievable. I mean, it is simply amazing. I mean, we got this guy, and then we're bringing in Harlow. We Cajuiced. I mean, we had Thomas and Mayfield, and oh my God! I mean, somebody did. May Lord have mercy upon on the Giants. I mean, if we got to start bringing some more, I mean, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. But, I mean, so he played in 2 games this season. He played against San Francisco and Seattle. Somehow his pass blocking, I mean, somehow against Seattle, I mean, he graded out of 79.8 against Seattle's pass block rate. But against San Francisco, his pass block was a 3.8. Oh, my. It's unbelievable. Absolute unbelievable. I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, if I'm somebody in the draft and I'm getting drafted by the Giants, I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'll go flip burgers at McDonald's. If I'm an offensive lineman and the Giants draft me, I'm good. I'll go work at Chuck E. Cheese. I'll mop floors or something. I get a better chance of advancing and doing well as a janitor at Chuck E. Cheese. I can move up the ladder. I'm not going nowhere as a Giant. I mean, it's just like, oh my goodness. I mean, I said, I wish the guy well. I mean, it's just some of these guys, I just can't even, like Ellerson Smith. Some of these guys, it's just like Aaron Robinson. Guys, it's just like one injury after the other. Absolutely. And it's like you can see like Aaron Robinson, or one of these guys, maybe a cornerback, is coming up and taking on a guard maybe whatever. They're doing like I'm an old fart here, so they're doing a sweep, right? And the guard's coming out, and you're the cornerback, and you come in, you go down low, and maybe you hurt yourself or something, like whatever, you know what I mean? Or you dive in to make a tackle, and I mean, this guy's doing this stuff in practice, ripping his butt. What are you doing? Oh my God. Unbelievable. So, well, you can kiss Shane Lemieux goodbye. So, in his place, once again, please forgive me. I got 312,000 tabs open up here, so I do. Okay, we got Shane Harlow. But once again, if, all things kind of considering, if we have to bring Shane Harlow in, I think we might be in some trouble there too, as well. All right, so we got the New York Giants offensive line continues to be cursed. This time it's Shane Lemieux. Yet another Giants offensive lineman bites the dust. Absolutely amazing. I said this too, and I know this sounds really stupid and all that stuff and all, but sometimes it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter who you bring in, who you draft, who this, who that. It doesn't matter. If you're not meant to succeed, if this whatever particular season it is, whatever, it doesn't matter what you do. And just for whatever the Giants are just not meant to be successful this season. I mean, it's unbelievable, these offensive linemen. I mean, if you took, I keep bringing up the Eagles because I freaking despise them. You took the Eagles and every one of their offensive linemen, boom, and they bring in other guys. They're bringing practice. Oh, boom, nope, sorry, you're hurt. Bringing somebody else. Boom, nope, sorry, you're hurt. Bringing somebody, yeah, okay, yeah, boom, you're hurt. And they keep bringing in offensive line. Guess what? They're not 5-1. Nope, sorry. You know what I mean? But it's the thing is, just like pissed me off is I don't want nobody to get injured. I don't want nobody on the Eagles to get injured, nobody on the Cowboys. I don't want nobody to get injured. But it's just like, why do we have 3,442 offensive linemen injured, and we keep bringing guys in and they keep getting injured? Why? And somebody's I know Lane Johnson's a little dinged up. I mean, some of these other teams are, just like healthy. Sometimes it just doesn't matter what you do. If you're not meant to, for whatever that one reason, if you're just cursed, you say, well, we're going to get healthy. Well, it hasn't happened yet. Well, we're gonna get Schmitz back and Thomas back and Evan Neal's going to be feeling better. We're going to get this guy back. Hasn't happened yet. Oh my God. I don't mean this. I don't mean it by a joke or not, but can the Giants catch a break? I don't mean breaking a leg or not. I mean, can we catch a break? I mean, is that too much to ask for the Giants to catch one break? I mean, or maybe the second half of the Cardinal game, that was the one break that the Giants were going to catch all season long, and it's all downhill after, I guess. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Nothing can obviously derail a season faster than injuries. So, of course, we got offensive lineman Shane Lemieux suffered a torn bicep during practice yesterday. Has been placed on injured reserve. There you go. In a corresponding move, the Giants signed Sean Harlow. You remember, he was with the Giants for a short period of time. Another interior offensive line off the Cowboys practice squad. So, Lemieux is the second Giants offensive lineman placed on injury reserve this week. There you go. Not to mention the other 3,442 offensive linemen who we don't have practicing, right? Joining Josh Ezeudu on injury reserve. Now, of course, Josh Ezeudu with his toe. Now, you're not sure if it's turf toe, if he did something, if it's the big toe. I mean, turf toe could be bad. I mean, that could be out for a while. Did he break a toe? We don't know. All we know is he got injured at 9 plays into the Buffalo game, went out, and I think he believed what I read, he left in a walking boot. So, I mean, he's on IR. Who knows? Absolutely amazing. Let's see. So the Giants have now added 3 offensive linemen this week alone. Tyree Phillips came back, okay. But we got Josh Miles and Sean Harlow. And as I said, I mean, we brought in Kajust in, right? Got Miles, got Harlow. But I said, I mean, if we got to put a couple of these guys on the offensive line at the same time, let us pray, right? I mean, holy cow. They also signed Justin Pugh to the active roster. Thank goodness. Okay. The last week they added Yadni Kajust. The Giants' offensive line continues to drop like flies. So this would be what? The 7th game. I believe this would wind up being this Giants' 7th different starting offensive line. Every week they've had a different starting. It's absolutely amazing. Andrew Thomas has not played since week 1 and is still not practicing. Michael Schmitz has missed the last couple of weeks and isn't practicing either. Cool. All right. And Evan Neal and Matt Parrott both did not participate designations on Wednesday. So we put 2 guys on IR this week. We got 2 guys haven't practiced in a while, and 2 guys who did not participate on Wednesday. We basically got like at least six offensive. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. All right. Losing Lemieux isn't too much of a loss. No, it's not for the Giants, as he had a 34.3 Pro Football Focus grade in 2 games he played. Harlow played with Arizona in 2021 and 2022 and posted PFF grades of 55.7 and 43.2, respectively. So he's not much of an upgrade. And of course, once I said, I mean, the Giants, don't have. I mean, it's not that you bring somebody in here, like off the street or something, a practice squad or whatever, and he works his way in. It's like, that guy ain't too bad. Wow. We might have a keeper here. You don't see that. That's not happening. Bobby Johnson's not bringing him in here and whipping him up into, I mean, if they're bad coming from another team or practice or off the street or whatever, Justin Pugh's not bad. I'm saying these other guys from the, if they're bad coming from a practice, they get here, they're still going to be bad. We don't have that capability. Let's see. The Giants' offensive line is currently constituted is Justin Pugh, Mark Lewinsky, Ben Bredesen, Marcus McKeith, and Evan Neal. Unsurprisingly, they're still PFF 32nd ranked line in the NFL. Losing Lemieux will hardly make a dent that way, one way or the other. Oh, absolutely. Of course not. I said, Harlow, he's made his way around. Now, let's not forget, early this season, in the summertime, on August 1st, 2023, Harlow was signed by the Giants. He was released on August 29th. So we signed him on August 1st. 28 days later, on August 29th, he was released. The very next day, Harlow was signed to the Cowboys practice. And so then, obviously, on October 19th, 2023, the Giants signed Harlow off of the Cowboys practice squad. So, but if we look, let's see, Harlow. He's played in 3. All right, let me go back here. So please forgive me. I am a moron on it. All right, Harlow. He's been around. He started with the Falcons in 2017. He was taken in the 4th round. So, some high expectations from Oregon State, 2017 draft, 4th round, pick 136. But just never panned out for him. He spent, and this is either on the team or on their practice squad, either or. 2017, he was with the Falcons. 2018, he was with the Colts. 2018 to 2020, he was back with the Falcons. 2021 and 2022, he was with the Cardinals. Then in 2023, he was with the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Giants. So if we look here, he's only played in 3 seasons, 2019, 2021, 2022. He's played a grand total of 670 snaps in the NFL. 2019, he played 1 snap. So, you can basically say, if you want to call it, he played 1 snap in 2019. Other than that, he's basically played 2 seasons, 2021 and 2022. 2021 with Arizona, he graded out of 55.7. And last season with Arizona, he played 228 snaps, graded out of 43.2. His pass blocking was a 28.6. So once again, you're not getting, anything special. Anything special at all. So, once again, just because, we got Harlow. Cool. All right. Yeah. Yes. Hope they bring him up. Hope they don't have to. That's all, but once again, for the most part, if there's good guys out there, they're not on somebody's practice squad. They're not just roaming the street. Right. So it is what it is. The Giants are kind of, unfortunately kind of screwed. It is, once again, it is what it is. All right. So we got I got some. The Commanders got a few injuries here. This was, I think this was as of today. Kendall Fuller did not participate. Rodriguez, their one running back, he did not participate on Wednesday. Jonathan Allen, he was limited. He's got a knee, but I'm sure he'll be good to go. Cam Curl was full participation. Christian Holmes, the cornerback, he was limited. Chris Paul, he was full. Smith Williams, who's limited, is the defensive end. Montez Sweat, full. Cosme, the guard and tackle, he was full. And St. Justy, he was full. So, I mean, they got a couple guys, but of course, nothing compared to what the Giants got. The Giants don't, the Giants can't win a football game, but they don't want to be, they feel, kind of, they get upset. They get a little pissed off if they don't win the injury battle by having far more injury players than their opponents. Let's see here. So the Giants' full Thursday injury report can be did not participate Thomas, Schmitz, and Parrott. Limited in practice, Daniel Jones with his neck, Barkley with his ankle, Graham Cano with a knee, Adoree Jackson with a neck, and Evan Neal with an ankle. At least he was limited, but full participation. Gary Brightwell with an ankle, DJ Davidson with a knee, Trey Hawkins with a knee, Cordell Flott with an ankle, Glowinski with a quad and an ankle. We got a lot of ankles here, and Wan'Dale Robinson with his knee. At Wan'Dale Robinson, it's more of just like a just trying to take it easy on him. I think that's what for just what I'm hearing or whatever like that. It doesn't sound like it has anything, big time. I mean, it's just, they're trying to keep the maintenance down on him, trying to get the wear and tear, on him, because he's coming back from obviously the injury, and I'm sure they don't want to put any excess of, reps on him if they don't have to. So I'm sure he might be, who knows? Heck, he might be limited for the rest of the season. We'll have to want to wait and see. Of course, Daniel Jones, he remains limited. Let's say the Giants were back on the practice field on Thursday, and a little had changed from the day prior. Quarterback Daniel Jones remains limited and was not cleared for contact. He'll throw out here at practice, same as yesterday, head coach Dable said. Like I said yesterday, doctors will let me know when he's ready to play. Well, they may not be ever. So it says, when the doctors tell me he's ready to play, he'll be ready to play. Dable repeated when asked again. So, I mean, it's just amazing. And I get it. I understand and all that stuff and whatnot. They have to do their job and ask questions. And, so I understand that. It's just that, sometimes you listen to these, the news comments. What's going on with Daniel Jones? Oh, he'll be participating. He's just limited. And then somebody asks questions. He's kind of limited? Did you say limited? Yeah, he's his neck, and he'll be out there today, but he'll be limited. And the next question will be, so what's limited about him? It's just, and Dable's only going to, I mean, sometimes it's just unbelievable. Because Dable's only going to say the same thing, basically over and over and over, right? And then the next 312 questions will all be kind of the same thing about Daniel, but they'll kind of word it a little bit differently. It's just something, it's just like, But so, unfortunately, same thing with him. You have no idea you don't even know if he'll ever play again. I have no idea. I keep saying, there's two things. I'm not I used to play football. I was not very good. I lost a lot of interest in it. I played. I realized I was not very good. I just lost interest. So, obviously, I just had bumps and bruises. Never really had anything horrible go wrong with me, knock on wood. But, it's just from just knowing overall, the anatomy of the body and all that stuff. There's two things you don't mess with. Two things, right? And one of them is obviously inside here, the concussions. You think, I'll get a concussion, I'll just week or two go by and I'll be good to go, and then maybe get another concussion. You don't want to mess with that. Don't want to mess with that. That's one. And the other thing is the thing that runs up and down into your head, right, which connects to this, right, and down your back, because you got those nerves and stuff and everything run up and down there. And everything. You don't want to mess with that either, right? Especially if you can be like one hit away. Just, it don't take much to start shifting some things in there, Don't take much, right? And, you don't want to get to that point where, because, he had a procedure done, was it 2 seasons ago, right? And you don't want to keep having stuff done there. I mean, I understand this is, your livelihood, and you only get you're only young and you so long, you can only play for so long. And I get that and all, but with any luck, if say he plays till he's 40, right? So say he plays from the time he's 25, so he has 15 seasons, right, in the NFL. Well, with any luck, you're gonna have another 40 years plus to live. I mean, is it worth, making those final 40 years of your life basically possibly a living heck, right? Just to play some football? I don't know about that. So, I mean, you don't know if he'll be cleared to play this season. You don't know. You just don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see. We're just going to ride it out with Tyrod and just wait and see if Daniel, because, it was like it said there was some of the pain or whatever was going down his shoulder, like maybe it was a pinched nerve or something. Don't know. But so he's still limited. So at least we got Tyrod. We got Tommy DeVito. I mean, because one thing, unfortunately, with my man Tyrod is he has he gets injured as well. Love the guy. I'm glad. I'm so happy we got him as our backup. I've probably never been happier about a backup that the Giants had than Tyrod Taylor. Except I got people want to go all the way back. I mean, Jeff Hostetler, right? Because he took us to the Super Bowl, right? But I mean, recent history, right? I mean, as far as having a backup, bringing somebody who is a backup, and Tyrod, so happy we got him. But unfortunately for Tyrod, he does get injured as well too. So keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully Tyrod stays healthy. He's smart. He's intelligent. He's good at he's got some moves. He can get out of the pocket. He can escape and get out of some danger. We'll just have to wait and see. But that didn't help him against the Miami Dolphins when basically as soon as he kind of almost got in there, one of the first places he was in there, whatever, he wound up getting sacked and he got the wind knocked out of him because he landed on the ball. All right, so then of course whatever it was last year. Daniel went out. Daniel got injured. Tyrod came in. He had a run. He wound up getting dinged, and Daniel Jones had to come back in. So Tyrod can get injured. So be interested to see. I'll tell you what. I want us to win the games, of course, but if it winds up being where DeVito goes in there, I'd like to see what he can do. I would like to see if Daniel can't go, and we throw DeVito in there. I would like to see what DeVito can do, right? If we get Andrew back, obviously if Evans okay, if we get Michael Schmitz there, we got Bredesen, we got Pugh. Right, maybe we got a decent front wall. If he gets some good protection, because in preseason he was running for his life basically the whole time. I mean, he was ducking and dodge, dive, dip, duck, and dodge. The 5 Ds of dodgeball: dodge, dive, dip, duck, and dodge. That's all he was doing. He'd get the snap, and if he wasn't handing off, that he was just dodging, diving, and ducking, and dipping and diving, and all that and everything, because he was just running for his life. But it's nice to see if he could get himself a pocket, right? Have some good quality. Of course, he's going to be going up against a better defense, obviously, than he was in preseason. But I'd like to see what he can do, right? But we'll have to see. I mean, hopefully Tyrod stays healthy, and hopefully Daniel can come back and all that. But if DeVito goes in there, I wouldn't mind seeing at least we can protect him a little bit, because he was fast on his feet. He's fast on his feet, and that's something you need to be. So, something winds up happening where DeVito winds up going in there. I hope it's not where we have, 5 practice squad guys on the offensive line, and, he has like 0.25 seconds to throw a football. Hopefully, if he does have to go in there, I'd like to see if he have some good protection. I'd like to see what he can do. Right? Interesting. But so then, of course, then there's this. I mean, this is just like, it's like, it's almost kind of comical here for the Giants now. I saw this thing here from Big Blue View. Where is the end zone? Giants offense has seemingly forgotten how to get there. It's unbelievable. Matt Breida scored, of course, on that 8-yard run. Exactly 10 minutes left in the third quarter of Week 3 against the San Francisco 49ers. That was the last time a New York Giants offensive player has scored a touchdown. That is almost 3.5 games ago. Exactly 205 minutes. That is an eternity in a league where the rules favor the offense, and 7 teams are averaging more than 25 points per game, and we're averaging like 11 points per game. The Giants have a porous, constantly shuffling offensive line. They have signed 3 offensive linemen off other teams' practice squads this week and added one of their own, Justin Pugh, to the 53-man roster. They will likely be using backup quarterback Tyrod Taylor for a second straight week when they face the Commanders on Sunday. So what is the solution to the Giants' seeming allergic reaction to the end zone and their overall inability to score points? The Giants are averaging a league worst 11.8 points per game. Oh, my God. Do whatever we got to do to try to score, head coach Brian Daboll said on Thursday. The Giants' best offensive lineman, Andrew Thomas, has not played since week 1. And basically, he hasn't been able to play correctly since about 5 minutes into the game. 5 minutes into week 1, Andrew Thomas, boom, injury. 5-6 minutes, whatever it was, until we got down to tried to kick that field goal. He hasn't been able to play since about 5 minutes into the season. Unbelievable. Pretty much you can maybe argue our best offensive player. 5 minutes into the season, boom, injured. Just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Let's see here. Starting center John Michael Schmitz is heading toward missing a 3rd straight game with a shoulder injury. Backup Joshua Zudo and Shane Lemieux are now on the IR. The Giants have yet to start the same offensive line in back-to-back games this season. That streak will continue Sunday when Pugh is likely to make his first start at left tackle in 8 seasons. That will make 6 different starting offensive line combinations in 7 games. Pugh, 33, played 5 snaps at left tackle in 2021. Prior to that, he had not played left tackle since spending 151 snaps there for the Giants in 2015. So, now the thing, and of course, it's just, this was just a killer. I mean, the Giants were 0-for-5 in red zone last Sunday against the Bills. The Giants are 30th in the league in red zone scoring. Last season, we were good in scoring in the red zone, getting touchdowns on just 5 of 16 opportunities. Holy cow. And then, of course, we had 2 of them. 2 of the drives, we got down to the 1-yard line, and we came away with no points. Absolute crushers. I mean, and I said, the 11.8 points per game is, and a streak of like, whatever, 3.5 games or, it's just a long time, long time. But I was kind of looking, to see what the worst streak was. Well, I didn't, and obviously, and I didn't go all the way back in time to see. I haven't scored. It's been. What was it? Well, they did score the one touchdown there against the Dolphins, but that was a defensive touchdown. So, I mean, the thing was, is that, so I started looking back to see what the Giants, maybe their worst offensive production was. And trying to think is the 2023 season or 2023 Giants, is that like the worst that the Giants have ever put out? And as I said, once again, I did not go back all the way to like the 20s. I didn't go all the way back to the 30s. I didn't go all the way back to the 40s, nothing like that. I was trying to keep stuff more modern. I was trying to think about, is there a worse stretch that the Giants actually had, as far as being futile, as far as scoring touchdowns and all, right? And I said, I didn't go all the way back in time or nothing like that. I said, because, the game in the 20s and all that and whatnot in the 30s is a little different than it is nowadays. So, I mean, I didn't go back too far. So I just try to keep it more modern. And the one thing, a lot of it is that, you also look at it too, is that with the Giants, what they have got going on, obviously this season. I mean, with the lack of scoring and not being almost 3.5 games, almost 14 quarters without scoring an offensive touchdown and all that. A lot of it you can look at it is, if the Giants had, if their offensive line healthy, and they had Daniel Jones or Tyrod, but they had healthy Saquon, if they were healthy, this we wouldn't be this far. This streak wouldn't be like this. So I wanted to go back and compared it, back to when I was 12 years old, 1976 season. Was worse. Actually, the 1976 season, we averaged 12.5 points per game, right? So this is right now we're at 11.8. So, I mean, the points right now the Giants are scoring is fewer than they did in 1976. But we're only at the 6th game of the season. I really have a hard time believing the Giants will go the rest of the season and only average like 11.8 points per game. So I think they're going to start scoring maybe at least a little bit more than that. So, But you can basically say that the reason why the Giants this season are so pathetic offensive-wise is the injuries, the offensive line. Backup quarterback, the star running back is injured. Injuries. The offensive line just decimated by injuries. It wasn't like that so much in 1976. But I went back to 1976 as I was 12 years old. That was my team. Actually, it was the first time that was the first year of the Giants Stadium. 1976. I mean, as I said, they averaged 12.5 points per game. I mean, they went 20 quarters in a row without scoring a touchdown. They scored, let's see here, week 6. They played in Minnesota. They lost to the Minnesota Vikings 24-7. All right. And Doug Kotar, he scored a touchdown in the second quarter of that game. We lost 24-7. Actually, kind of weird because we lost 24-7 to the Minnesota Vikings in that game. And in that game, the Vikings quarterback was Fran Tarkenton, who used to be the quarterback of the Giants. So in the second quarter of that game, Doug Kotar scored a touchdown. So the Giants were down actually 10-7 at one point in time. We wound up losing 24-7. So he scored a touchdown in the second quarter. It wasn't until 5 games later the Giants scored their next touchdown, and it was in the second quarter. They played in Denver. They played the Broncos. They lost 14-13. Of course, the reason why they lost was the touchdown they scored in the second quarter. They missed the extra point. So they wound up losing 14-13. But so they went 5 full games. They went from the second quarter of week 6 to the second quarter of week 11. So they went 5 full games without scoring a touchdown offensively. So they've gone 20 quarters without scoring. So here we're at 14. I would have a hard time believing the Giants won't score any this week or next week. I mean, not saying the Jets or the Commanders are going to be a pushover, but I can see the Commanders will be giving up some points. I have a hard time believing the Giants won't find the offensive the end zone offensively at least once this weekend. But I said, 1976. I mean, it said, that's I was 12 years old. You want to talk about watching some bad football? The Giants started that season 0-7. Actually, they started 0-9. They started so bad. How bad was it? It was so bad. They started 0-7. Bill Arnsparger, their coach, gone. So they brought in John McVay, who finished off the season. He went 3-4 in their final 7 games. So they started off 0-7, and Arnsparger was fired. They brought in John McVay. He was, which is McVay's, I think he's his uncle or grandfather from the Rams coach, McVay. John McVay's either his uncle or his grandfather. So some ties there. But the Giants went their next 2 games with McVay, and they lost, and they finally won in their 3rd game. So let me go over some of this absolute the 76 season. So the Giants, I said, in week 6, they lost to the Vikings 24-7 to fall to 0-6. So they scored a touchdown in the second quarter. Then the game that ended it for Bill Arnsparger, his career, was the defending Super Bowl champions Pittsburgh Steelers. Because remember, the Steelers won in 74 and 75, so this was 1976. The Steelers came into brand new Giants Stadium. It was the Giants' second ever game ever in Giants Stadium, and the Steelers won 27-0. Right, so Arnsparger was fired after that. They brought McVay in. Then the following week, the Eagles came to town. The Giants lost 10-0. So at least they didn't get blown out, but they once again didn't score a touchdown. So between the Minnesota game, half of the Minnesota game, the Steelers game, and the Eagles game, the Giants have gone 2.5 games. The second half of the Minnesota game, they got no touchdowns. The Steeler game, no touchdowns, and the Eagle game. So now we're at 2.5 games. The following week, the Giants went to Dallas, and they played the Cowboys and actually lost only 9-3. 9-3, but once again, they didn't score a touchdown. So now we're 3.5 games. The Giants didn't score a touchdown. So now the Giants are 0-9. 3.5 games in a row. No offensive touchdowns. So then the following week, the Giants finally beat at home. They finally beat the Washington Redskins. The Redskins had beaten the Giants 11 times in a row. 11 times in a row. So the Giants finally beat the Redskins at home. The Giants finally came 1-9. They beat the Redskins. They beat them 12-9. 12-9, they beat them. So they kicked 4 field goals. The Redskins kicked 3. So it was 7 field goals were kicked in a game. But once again, so the Giants finally won a game, right? 12-9. So now they're 1-9. But now they've gone a grand total of 4.5 games without scoring an offensive touchdown. 4.5 games. Wasn't until the following week, week 11, they went to play Denver. They lost, so they fell to 1-10. But it wasn't until the second quarter where they scored a touchdown. So the Giants went 5 full games in 1976. They went 20 quarters in 1976 without scoring a touchdown. So the Giants this season at 14 quarters, whatever it is, they're still a game and a half shy. They would have to go pretty much all of the Commander game and like half of the Jet game without scoring an offensive touchdown before they can even tie. So if they want to break the streak of the 76, they pretty much have to go the next 2 games and get shut out touchdown-wise, offensively, pretty much break the streak. So I don't see that happen. I think the Commanders, their defense, they can run against them. You can hit the deep ball against them, right? So you can gain some yards on them, With our porous offensive line, is that going to happen? Who knows? But I said once again, you can score, you can move the ball on them. So I would at least, if not the Giants don't win, I would at least look for the Giants to at least put up at least 1 offensive touchdown this week, break the streak. And I said I think the Giants 20 quarters in a row. 1976. I'm not sure if that's the all-time record. That's the one that comes to my head because I remember watching it. First year, Giants Stadium. The Giants, came out of they went from Shea Stadium in 1975. Finally had their own stadium, their own for the first time ever. Because remember, they played in the Polo Grounds from 1925 to 55. They shared the Polo Grounds with the Giants, the New York Giants baseball team. And then in 1956 to 1973, they shared the Yankee Stadium with the Yankees. Then most of 73 and 74, they went to the Yale Bowl. 1975, they shared Shea Stadium with the Jets and the Mets, not the Nets. See what I did there? But so they shared that stadium. So it was 1976. The Giants had their first ever home all by themselves, right? And of course, it was one of the worst seasons in Giants history. They wound up 3-11, but they went 20 quarters in a row offensively without scoring a touchdown. So that was, to me, that's what I can just think of off the top of my head. So if you think this is bad right now, like 14 quarters, well, the 1976 season was even worse. So hopefully the Giants don't match that streak. Well, guys, it's been 49 minutes, getting almost close to 50 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. If anybody spends any time watching a replay of this, once again, thank you so much from my heart, bottom of my heart. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.